Honest conversation will get us to our destination. And that's why I'm up here in the Bronx today. Because the days of not seeing you and living through the invisible man concept and woman concept and those who are of your community concept, those days are over. You need new folks at the table that's going to include everyone at the table. And so, Bronx Pride Week, we are doing this in the BX. We're not doing it downtown. We're not doing it in the traditional locations where people have defined what this movement is about and what it looks like. You were at both of the round tables. Yes. Out of one of the round tables, you raised this issue. We did a follow-up round table. And this helped us carve this important agenda that we are putting in place today. And just a few days ago, in response to the hateful legislation passed in conservative states, President Biden signed a bill to prevent the rights of LGBTQ plus people from being trampled on. We need to continue to do that. Discriminatory legislation should not be allowed to stand, and we need to fight against it. What I have done throughout my entire life, from the days of standing with gold as a member of the New York City Police Department. The history is rich in fighting on behalf of the men and the women of this important community. But in the meantime, we're telling people who are having fights across the entire country, come to New York. You know, this is a place where we open our arms and accept and embrace all who want to live here. Equity, justice, and responsibility to those who need our help is the most important hallmark of this administration. This is something I believe in and will continue to fight for. And when you sat down as a community and spoke with us, we heard, we listened, we implemented and took action. Today, I'm proud to announce nearly $6.7 million for new and expanded programs supporting the LGBTQ plus community. The initiatives are the results of the roundtables, the conversations, and my long history of hearing about the discriminatory practices within the movement that was just discussed. The marked expansion of the role of the New York City Unity Project, which is now part of the Mayor's Office of Equity. That's an important initiative that we're going to expand on and give teeth and resources to. So here's what we're doing for LGBTQ plus neighbors in all 5 boroughs, not just in Manhattan. All 5 boroughs in general, and specifically places like the Bronx. First, we are making a vital investment of $1.5 million in programs that promote, support, and educate families to accept LGBTQ plus youth. As a captain and executive officer in the 6th Precinct, I will often spend time in the park on Christopher Street and seeing young people who fled home because after they came out, their families threw them out. And giving them instructions and directions and spending time and sitting down with them throughout the night on the midnight tours of duty and stop the harassment of police officers who harass them every night. Being there for them, I know how serious this problem is with young people who identify and they are removed from their families. Family rejection is one of the main causes of homelessness amongst the youth in this community. Roughly 50% of homeless youth are LGBTQ plus New Yorkers, and 90% of the group are Black and brown. These young people are twice disadvantaged, and we want to give them the support they need. They need our help, and this initiative is the starting point of ensuring they get that help. We will educate families and promote family acceptance, which will keep families together and give families the support they deserve. We support our vulnerable youth, and we directly impact one of the main causes of our youth homelessness. It will directly impact if we get this right, and we believe we're going to get it right. We're also putting $3 million towards peer housing navigators and financial literacy for runaway and homeless youth. So important. As you get your home, how to stay in your home, how to navigate the finances to do so, because when you are prematurely removed from your home, you're not receiving those foundational instructions that allow you to have the financial wherewithal as you move forward. Since LGBTQ plus youth make up such a large percentage of our homeless youth, this program would directly benefit these vulnerable young people. This is a downstream solution to an upstream problem, and we're going to take the solution upstream and fix it when it's available or present downstream. We're committing $1 million to providing the LGBTQ plus community with culturally sensitive legal services. So if you are an LGBTQ plus person and have experienced discrimination because of your gender or sexuality in housing, in employment, or refusal of services, and you cannot afford a lawyer, we're going to be there to help you and support you to navigate the legal process. This is a groundbreaking initiative, and I'll tell you why. The city will be connecting and paying for LGBTQ plus legal service providers who represent the community. They understand the issues that the community is facing, and we want to make sure that they're the legal representation that they need. We're also investing over $180,000 in transgender, non-conforming, and non-binary nonprofits to expand and improve the services they provide to the transgender, gender, non-conforming, and non-binary communities. This community has been historically underfunded and overlooked, and that's exactly what you have been talking about over and over again. One of the first of their kind grants will support local TGNC/NB groups, which directly serve members of their community. We will be putting $400,000 towards expanding our HIV and sexual health services and $350,000 towards efforts for LGBTQ plus New Yorkers who have experienced discrimination in their places of worship. Pastor Gil Morose and other pastors we have met with, it's time for us to come to the table and lean into what we agree on. I'm going to say that over and over again. It is time for us to come to the table and sit down and have real conversations to come to real results. We will be reviewing and updating the LGBTQ plus healthcare bill of rights in the transgender health booklets. Individuals, families, communities in the city who must or who believe they don't receive the support they deserve, we're saying it's time for us to come together to combat hatred, to change minds and foster acceptance, and to provide concrete, meaningful services to those who need the assistance that we are calling for. New York is the city of Stonewall, but it is also the city of these great organizations that are in the outer boroughs that have been on the front line fighting for these important issues. And so we say Happy Pride Month. We're looking forward to the continuing celebration during Pride Month, and we're looking forward to continue to listen, to hear, and to move in the right direction. And out of everything you say, one thing is profound. We won't always get it right, but we will always do right by sitting down and learning. This is a new place for us all. And those who hold on to stagnant beliefs will never be able to face the future that's in front of us. We enjoyed the conversations we had with the larger group and the smaller group. And these are the results of those conversations and my life work on dealing with these issues that has faced this community for far too long. And I'm happy to be the mayor of one of the most diverse cities on the globe, and we're going to continue to look after all New Yorkers in the process. And so I would turn it over to open any questions, or do we have another program we wanted to follow? Because you know me. You going to invite the next person?
Y'all know it's my house, but every now and then I will relinquish it so our guests can do what it is they need to do. All right, thank you again for that commitment. We appreciate it, and for the first time in many years, we actually feel heard, so I appreciate that. Next up is going to be the Commissioner of the Office of Equity, Commissioner Sherman, will come and give us a few words.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, and happy Pride Month. I'm really excited to be here in the Bronx, celebrating Pride, but really celebrating this announcement, right, that's focused on new and expanded services for the LGBTQ community. And I want to thank you, Sean, for having us, and also thank you for your fight to make sure that these important services stay in the Bronx. So, you know, New York City has a history of being a place where people can find community, a place where people can find a sense of belonging and an opportunity to be their authentic self. And now more than ever, you know, as the mayor shared, particularly in the face of harmful legislation that's happening across our country, it's important that in New York City we not only affirm these values, but we make investments that ensure that LGBTQ plus New Yorkers can thrive. I think, Sean, you said earlier, what do we mean when we say equity, right? Equity is not necessarily making sure that everybody has the same thing. It's making sure that everybody has what they uniquely need, right? And so that means having legal services from providers who are from the LGBT community and understand the discrimination you have experienced. That means having peer housing navigators who share your lived experience, and having providers that are able to be culturally competent and work with you and your family to ensure that you can stay connected and that young people don't fall into homelessness. It also means supporting transgender, non-binary led nonprofits, particularly by people of color, right, who are credible, who are authentic in their communities, so that they can continue to do this important work. This package that you hear and this announcement is really the result of listening. It's the result of listening to members from across the LGBT community and making sure that we are working across our administration to really respond to the specific needs that were heard. This is also the result of our Unity project, which you'll hear more about later. But Unity is really working across city agencies and systems to address the priorities and make sure that we have a focused effort on the issues and the concerns of the LGBTQ plus community. And so, you know, on this stage here today, you see members across a variety of city administrations. And this really speaks to the mayor's commitment of making sure that we're breaking down silos and we're working together to ensure that we deliver for New Yorkers. So this is a partnership between the Office of Equity and the Unity Project, the Department of Health, HRA, the Department of Consumer Worker Protection, the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice, a variety of city agencies, DYCD, all of these agencies who have come together to make sure that we address the comprehensive needs that we see across the LGBTQ plus community, particularly when it comes to our young people, and it's only just the beginning. So I want to thank the mayor for this long commitment in history and continued commitment to this important work. I want to thank our agency partners, and I want to thank our amazing team at the Office of Equity and Unity Project for all the work that you do to make sure that we have an equitable city and show up for New Yorkers on a daily basis. Thank you so much, and happy Pride.
Thank you, Commissioner Sherman. We appreciate you. Next up, you've heard about the Unity Project, and now you'll get an opportunity to have a discussion, hopefully, at some point we open Q&A, with Ronald Porcelli. He's the Senior Policy Advisor for the New York City Unity Project.
Thank you. The NYC Unity Project. The NYC Unity Project is the LGBTQ plus interagency coordinating body. At the mayor's office, the Unity Project works on LGBTQ plus policy, programs, communication, and outreach. All around the nation, this community is experiencing and feeling hurt and pain. I have felt this pain. And right now, in the nation, there are LGBTQ plus youth that are being bullied in school for who they are, that are worried about being accepted for who they are, and are wondering if they will have a future. And all around the nation, this community comes to New York City and sees New York City as a beacon of light and hope. And this is my story. These investments ensure that New York City is able to live up to its legacy as the home of Stonewall and the LGBTQ+ rights community, while also ensuring that this community is empowered and supported. I am very grateful for these investments in these incredible initiatives and the expansion of the Unity Project, and for its ability to continue to serve and empower New York City's brilliant and vibrant and diverse LGBTQ+ community. Thank you, and happy Pride.
Thank you.